I was born literally on a 40-acre farm in a three-room house. I wasn't born in a hospital. My birth certificate says there was a doctor attending, so I assume there was. My father graduated from high school and became a carpenter, but he had to come and become a farmer in order to save the family farm. I grew up until I was about 14 on a farm that had no electricity until I was about 13. Had never had any running water, had well water, never had an in-house bathroom. This was in Missouri. Well, Christmases, we went out into our farm and cut down our own Christmas tree. Dad would never buy a Christmas tree. He would thought that would be a foolish way to spend his money. So we'd find a fir tree someplace. Most of the time, the presents were small, not many toys, mostly clothes. A pair of socks or a pair of pants or shirt, something like that for Christmas. I think that was probably my most memorial Christmas is when I got my first pair of waist pants. They weren't everyday pants, they were dress-up pants. Both myself and my brother got trousers and shirts and jackets and a hat to wear. We thought we were something. So that's what we wore to Sunday school. A lot of the farmers there, all they had was bib overalls. I guess that's why I thought, now I've arrived. I got my first pair of waist pants. That's not to say that I didn't wear bib overalls around the farm later on. I did. Didn't go to school in bib overalls. I went to a one-room schoolhouse, all 8 grades in the same room. I went to the same teacher all those 8 years. Our Christmases were kind of sparse. There was not a whole lot of money to spread around for Christmas. So they're all about the same, except the time I recall getting a pair of my first slacks, waist pants, because that's what my dad wore.
Favorite Christmas memory is living back home in Cameroon, which is in West Africa, and having my mom make our clothes. We were 15 of us, and so 6 of us were girls. And so she would make up our clothes and also make the clothes for her boys. And we'll all dress alike and kind of go to visit different family members. And the big thing about our family for Christmas is going to church Christmas Eve and being part of the choir, being part of the nativity, and kind of acting out the role of Christ in our lives. And so that was a big part for our family, just having to enjoy Christmas together. Christmas in the United States was a little overwhelming. When we were growing up, Christmas was about family. Christmas was about going to church. Christmas was about just hanging out and just talking and saying how we've been blessed for that year or not, and not buying gifts. There was no sharing of gifts or opening of gifts, or there was no really much of the Christmas decorations that I see in the US. So that was a little different. Going back to 2011, I had just moved to Arizona, and one of my older brothers had just passed away, and I went to Cameroon in November. And coming back after that, Christmas was already ruined anyway, so it was just one of those really difficult and challenging times to kind of deal with Christmas and the civiles. I will never forget that. My intent was just to stay home and just mope on my own, but they invited me to their home for those holidays, and that has been something that I will never forget, because it showed me that even though I was grieving, even though I missed my family and there was just so much stuff that had to be taken care of, there were still people that figured it's not a good idea for you to be alone on holidays, and they invited me to their home. And I have never forgotten that, and I have never forgotten them for taking in a stranger, because I don't think they even knew who I was at the time, but you just figured I was someone. We went to the same Sunday school, and I kind of talked about when I got home about my brother's death, and so they just figured, okay, you don't have any family here, how about you come join us? And so that has been something that I don't think I'll ever forget. And that was, as challenging as that year was, it was the best Christmas that I can remember ever spending in the US.